Hello. So your internet's been giving you a hard time too? Mine, I would say the last 4 or 5 days has been a little iffy myself with Telus. So now that your dad said you guys were thinking about phoning, I might phone too. I thought maybe it was just me, but anyways, I guess not. So you ready to go back to school tomorrow? Oh, I am unfortunately not. But we will get there. All right. So, what would you like to work on today? Okay. Okay. And what is it that you're missing? Okay. So you've got some homework pages that you're going to post then? Okay. Well, then I will get ready to screenshot. Well, I've been tutoring this whole break, so, but it's still different than going into work and then doing both, and it's definitely a lot less, so I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. I'm complaining about having to go back to work. No worries. What was the section you're looking to find anyways? Well, that's good. Oh, that's good. Christmas presents. I can also reset your password if you're not sure what it is. Okay. Go to students number. So you were using your Learn VCB one. You were, yeah. Do you want me to enter a new password, or do you know what it is for that? It was, yeah. Looks like it. Okay, let's try that again. I just closed that one. That's okay. Students. Change password. Enter new password. has to be at least 8 characters. Okay. That works. Okay, so your new password is your name twice. Capital first letter. For your password, you log in with your email, but then the password is your name, like written twice. Yeah. Yeah, both with capital first letter. Yes. Looks like you're in now. Okay, so we got our first one. Okay, so the first part was find the slope of the line. Okay, what was that slope formula? Yeah. What was the symbol for slope? That's the linear equation, but what's the variable for slope? Like in a y equals mx plus b, what represents slope? Not the x. Well, that's not a variable. But yes, slope is rise over run, but the variable is m. So when you gave me the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, that's the equation for slope, which has the symbol or variable m. In this linear equation, what does the b represent? Yes, good. Okay, so you've got your equation. You've got 2 sets of points. So you plugged in 9 minus 3 over 6 minus 2. No problems there. You got that. 10 minus 2 over 7 minus 3. Does the order ever really matter on which way you do these? No. Just watch your integer signs though. If you've got 8 being divided by -4, and with any slope I'd always say reduce if you can. What can that reduce to? Yes, and since it was 8 over, yeah. Even the first one, if you can reduce that, what would that reduce to? Not 4 over 2. What number goes into both 6 and 4? Okay, how many times does 2 go into 6? That's better. Okay, so it would have been 3 over 2. This one you did 1 minus 5, 4 minus... Okay, so here's again where you got to watch those integer rules. You did 1 minus 5. That's right. But 4 minus a minus 1 is not 3. Right? You're subtracting. These are all subtractions, right? 9 minus 3, 6 minus 2, 10 minus 2, 7 minus 3, 1 minus 5. But now you've got 4 subtract a negative number. What happens when you subtract a negative number? A 4 minus minus 1. Uh-oh, you froze on me. Welcome back. It's okay, I feel your pain with the internet right now. So, what happens when we do 4 take away a negative number? No. Yeah. So, okay, so let's look at the two scenarios. If I have a 4 and we're subtracting a negative number, when you've got the double negative side by side, which is, this is the question we're looking at. When you subtract a negative, it becomes addition. And so that's just 5. If it was a negative 4 subtract or adding another negative number, well, now I'm adding these and it's just a larger negative number. It's 2 negatives getting bigger. If it was a negative number, let's say plus 1. If you've got one negative number and one positive number, well, now your answer depends on which number has the greater, which number is bigger. 4 is bigger than 1, it's minus, so the answer is minus. And now it's not adding the numbers, it's subtracting the numbers to find the difference between them. So this one was subtracting a negative. That double negative turns into addition. Because when we do the integer rules, they always follow addition, not subtraction. So that should have been 1 minus 5. You're right, 1 minus 5 is negative 4, but it should have been over 5. Okay, you did a minus 2, minus 2. Again, our integer rules do not follow the rules of subtraction. They follow the rules of addition. So I would change a subtraction to addition, reverse the symbol. So it's minus 2 plus another minus 2. If you change the subtraction to addition, you reverse the symbol on your other one. So really what I'm doing is I'm adding 2 negative numbers together. So it's not 0. Minus 2 plus another minus 2, it's a minus 4. Because you're at minus 2, you're going further minus. You can also think of it in terms of a number line. If you're at minus 2 and you're subtracting, you're going to go, you're going to go left. If you're adding something, you're going to go right. You started at minus 2, that was your first number. But then it said minus 2 more, so you're going to go this way. So we should have minus 4 up here. Okay, then you did 2 minus 2 is 0. Yes, minus 4 divided by 0. What is minus 4 divided by 0? No. No. And I'm looking kind of at the next page you posted. It has to do with slope a little bit too. Remember the different kinds of slope? Oh, do you now? Let's check. I'm going to give you an example. Let's look at the different kinds of slope. I could have, there's 4 different kinds of slope. I'm going to draw a little grid here. There's a line. There's a line. There's a line. There's a line. What kind of slope does this one have? What kind of slope does the next one have? What kind of slope does this one have? Well, they're all straight lines. Well, okay. You mean the horizontal one? It is a horizontal line. Well, still you gotta put it into one of the four types for me. Do we have a rise? If I was going from, let's look at this one, this point to this point. I have a rise, I have a run. Going from a point here to a point here. I have a rise, I have a run. Do I have a rise going from one point to the next one? Am I going up or down as a rise? No, my rise is 0. What is my run? Sure, it could be. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 10, it could be a million. It doesn't really matter. It could be anywhere along this line. What is 0 divided by any number? Use a calculator then. That's okay. You said it on a different one. I'm going to show you the difference. This is a slope of 0. However, the one that we were looking at just previous in this question, which is where I'm leading up to, is, where were we at? It was -4 divided by 0. And I asked you, well, then what's the slope? And you said 0. And then you said -4, which it is going to be neither. Let's look at this one. What is my rise and my run on this one? Do I have a rise? Could be anything we want. Could be 0, or not, can't be 0. Could be 1, could be 20, could be a million. So let's say a rise of 7, sure. What is my run? What is 7 divided by 0? Again, use your calculator. It's error. Exactly. Thank you. You're going to get an error. It's not 7. It's not 0. When you get that error, it's undefined. It's called an undefined slope. Except my pen's not writing. There we go. Undefined. Hopefully that is somewhat legible, but not really. There, add a little F there. So you can't have 0 in the denominator. It won't work. It's undefined. So as a slope for this question, this one has an undefined slope. You wouldn't leave it as -4/0. It doesn't exist. It's undefined. Now, and that's going to become more and more important, especially as you get into doing like pre-calc 11 when you're finding restrictions on your denominator and you have polynomials and you factored some quadratics and you have to say, why can't my denominator be 0? That's something that you'll do later on. Okay, let's see what you did on the next one. So you did a -3, subtract. I'm going to say there's something wrong with this one. I want you to take a look at E. Okay, we've corrected those on those ones. Take a look at E and tell me, what do you think you did not do correctly here? It is -3 plus 3 on the numerator, yeah, because we're subtracting a negative number. That has to turn into plus. Then what? Okay, -3 plus 3 is 0 up top, but there's still something wrong down below. Yes, because that is also going to turn into a +3 if we're subtracting a negative number. Good. Okay, let's check this next one. A -2 minus 3 is a -5. 3 minus a -3. You did turn that into addition. Congratulations, that's correct. Okay, 8 minus 1 and a 6. Take a peek. have a look at G. Yes. Okay, so again, subtracting that negative number should have turned it into plus, making that a 9. All right, let's see. Minus 1, you did plus 1. Is minus 1 plus 1 too? Somebody must have slept too much over winter break. Okay, then you did minus 5, minus 2 is minus 7. Other than that, we're good. Okay, 2 minus 0 is 2, minus 4. You wrote the answer of 8, but it should have been, oh, no, actually, nope, take a look at this one. Yep, in the denominator, what's going on there? Yeah, that was supposed to be plus 4 since we were subtracting the negative. And if we're dividing by 0, what kind of slope do we actually get? No. Undefined, that's what we need. There's a big difference. One will give you a vertical line, one will give you a horizontal line. Okay, all right, let's take a look at J. You did 0 minus 8 is minus 8, minus 4 minus 0 is still minus 4. Simplify. What is minus 8 divided by minus 4? 2. Yeah, you got it. All right. Oh, fractions. And this is where the fun stopped. Okay. Well, who does not like fractions? Okay, let's take a peek. Hey, I did press screenshot, did I not? Try that again. Hello, wakey, wakey, what's happening? Where's my screenshot? Windows Shift S. Okay, it's being silly and not giving me my screenshot. So, do you have the page in front of you? All right, just tell me, what are the points that we're working with? Oh, of course, now it comes up after I switch pages, but whatever. Tell me what are the numbers, but give me one sec because I had a serious delay as it decided it was going to screenshot as I switched. What are the numbers we got? Okay. All right, let's go through it. So, you started off correctly from what I remember looking at. You did 1/5 minus 1/3. There was nothing wrong with that. Down below, what would we have? Not 1/3 minus 1/3. Yeah. Okay, now in order to add and subtract fractions, we need a like denominator. So let's start in the numerator. If I'm going to subtract these fractions, what's the common denominator between a 5 and a 3? So let's rewrite 2 new fractions over 15. So for 5 to become a 15, what did we multiply by? Exactly. So what you do to the bottom, you have to do with the top. And so that becomes times 5 as well. So what is our numerator here now? 3/15 minus, okay, there we go. Now let's work about the bottom. What's the common denominator between these two? Okay, so let's write 2 new fractions over 6. Again, what are we multiplying the first one by? And what about the next one? Okay, so what's our equivalent fractions? Okay, let's put it together. What is 3/15 minus 5/15? Okay, and what is 2/6 minus 3/6? Two minus 3, because it's we've had 2 weeks off, that's why. If you need to, use your calculator. I'm not judging. Okay, there we go. All right, we've got our 2 new fractions. Now, because we've got a fraction that's being divided by another fraction, do we ever divide fractions by fractions? We don't. What do we do instead? We multiply. So we keep the first fraction. This is the keep, change, flip. We keep the first fraction. We change it to multiplication. We're going to flip the second fraction. So instead of a -1 over 6, it's going to become 6 over -1. Now we can multiply these together. Not cross multiply. That's if we're finding a missing value, if we know 3 and we're missing 1. But if I just straight across. Yeah, and since they're both negative, this would turn into positive. We could actually, can we reduce it? Yeah, I think we can. What 12 and 15? Mm, 3. Okay, how many times can 3 go into 12? We go into 15. So we can reduce that to 4/5 because a negative divided by negative is positive. We simplified it. So that would be our slope for that one. Whoops, as I cross it out because I don't know why. I'm trying to draw a box and it did not do what I wanted. There we go. Okay, let's try another one of these lovely fraction questions. Alright, so that takes care of that one. Okay, we got decimals. Let's do one more fraction before we take a look at those decimals. And I tried to press my screenshot function, and once again, I'm like waiting, wondering, is it going to go? I don't know. I don't like TELUS anymore. I think I need to find out if Rogers can do better. My cell phone's through Rogers, so I am curious. I literally only have TELUS for internet, and right now they're not impressing me. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we are. All right, so how do we start by setting this one up? Okay. Starting with the numerator, we need a common denominator, which would be what? Yep. Let's put them both over 15. What will the numerator on the first one become? Okay, how about this one? Okay, what is our common denominator down below? I think it is actually the same ones, isn't it? Okay, well, that's a little easier, I suppose. What is our numerator on the first one? Okay, good. Put them together. What is minus 3/15 minus 3, or minus 5/15 minus 3 more 15ths? Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was a bad 5. Okay, and now we want to keep change flip because we want to not divide fractions. We want to multiply them. So let's rewrite this. Change it to multiplication and invert our other fraction. What are we going to get now? I have no idea. Okay, beat me. Good. Now, can we reduce that? Does anything go into those? Oh, I can. We can, I just checked dividing both by 3. Yes. And that I know I can't reduce because the only thing that goes into 25 is 5. Okay, well, there we go. That is that one. Now, let's take a look at these decimal ones. How come you missed all this stuff? Were you sick before the last little bit of school? Oh, okay. Yeah, not fun. Okay, that's fair. Alright, try to screenshot. I think it's... No, it still didn't do it. Why is my screenshot not working? Oh, there we go. I'm going to take them both at the same time and fit them both onto... Oh! Okay, you know what? It's being difficult. So, you're just going to tell me what the questions are, and I'm going to write it out, because it's not cooperating. Alright, what's our first pair? The decimal numbers. Okay, hold on, 0.26 and 0.45. Okay. Zero point 38 and 0.20. Yeah, my thing's really acting up. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to figure it out. Okay, so those are our numbers. All right, so if we're going to do the slope on this one, the easiest thing would probably be to just do the subtraction and not put them into any kind of fraction form yet, and maybe do that at the very end if we had to. But you could probably, because generally as a slope we're going to want it as a rise and a run, which is a fraction, but I probably wouldn't put them into fraction till the very end. So let's just go through the subtraction as we normally would. What would you end up writing? Yeah. Good. Okay, hopefully that's legible. Okay, 0.20 minus 0.45, 0.38. Okay, good. You're going to be faster than me because I'm trying to write super slow, otherwise it goes all wonky. And you got negative on the first one too, right? Like, tell me how that looks like a 2. Does that look like a 2? No. All right. Not even close. Oh, what was the bottom you said? Okay, now, what do we want to do with that? Do we want to turn it into fraction? Okay, finally I get a 2 there. It's probably what I would do. The fact that they both have 2 decimal places after the decimal, I'd be inclined to say that it's just negative 25 over 12. And move that decimal, and then if I could reduce I would, but I know I can't because 5 won't go into 12, and that's the only thing that goes into 25. So, or you could do the division and go straight up. What is negative 0.25 divided by 0.12? And then you get a slope of negative 0.37. They might just be leaving it in that form as well.